And here we go. This is my week 2 assignment, and in the task 1, in line 1 I initialize the value of x and y to 3, and in the line 2 I initialize an empty list b to store the values of the for loop, and in the line 3 I have an if condition to check if the values of x and y are less than 5 to avoid running of values greater than 5 in the for loop. In line 4 I have for loop looping a number of x times, and in the line 5 I initialize an empty list C to hold the zeros. It is initialized in the x for loop to reinitialize it every time the x for loop runs, so as to run its state to come empty before it is run in the y for loop. And in the line 6 I have for looping a number of y times, and in line 7 I added a 0 to the list C for y number of times, and in line 8 I add the list C to the list B for x number of times to create the final nested list. In line 7 I printed nested list of the console, and in line 10 I have the else statement for the condition for the value of x and y being greater than 5, which print an error message if the value of x is greater than 5. And coming to task 2, we are using the same nested loop created in the task 1 in the y. For loop 1, first check if the value of j is 0. Is so because any number mod 0 returns 0 division error. To avoid this error, I add mod 0 returns 0 division error. To avoid this error, I add 1 to j. Here I added 1 to j. And the next step, check if I mod j is 0. And add 1 to the list else add 0. For case where j is not equal to 0, one check is more if mod j is 0 and add 1 to the list, else add 0. Then print the final nested list in the console. In here we go in the task 3, to transfer the nested list I use a nested loop where the outer loop runs x times and inner loop runs y times. I then assign the value of the inner loop to a variable value. I then assign the value of the inner loop to a variable value I then check if the assigned value is equal to I and the condition is true. I print the value of the index number has been founded in the nested. And here we go, we got the index value.